Okay, we're going to have a look at a Class 2. We're going to have a look at some of the challenges that there are with Class 2s and some other different ideas that David's come up with and Jeremy have come up with. Now, I'm sure quite a few of you, I mean, hands up who uses a V-ring system in the room. And would you say that revolutionised your Class 2s? To me, the V-ring is to posterior what the Clark matrix is to anterior, because before you had that V-ring, you had a straight line. Your radiographs were all straight lines, and you're getting the same on anteriors. However, David has come up with a posterior matrix that has some, in my opinion, some advantages and some areas where V-ring doesn't work. I don't think there's a posterior matrix on the planet that will do every single case. I guarantee that sometimes you're pulling out other matrices when you're doing posterior work besides the V-ring. So, the first thing about this is, and David's hopefully we're going to sort of wing it a little bit, is that this is a see-through mylar matrix. This is not a metal matrix. And I'm sure you know some of the challenges that there can be with this matrix. It's in place at the moment. And what we're going to do is show you different options of securing the matrix. The first option is the interproximators that you've been using. And up until now, you've been using the soft. In this particular case, you can use the hard interproximator, which is the blue, because you've got two structure to go on to. And are you going to use that first?
No, so he's pointing out the composite on the neighboring tooth.
Yeah, in all cases, I believe, you disc the neighbouring tooth. And David's losing his voice, which is why I'm doing this as well. So in all cases, the neighbouring tooth will get a disc to it, no matter what the condition of that tooth.
So he's owning the contact, because the contact is a relationship between two teeth. So where this other contact, the other tooth has this, bad. So it's simulating there's maybe an old composite that had a bad shape, or it would be hard to work up against. So,
or an overhang, or
yeah, an overhang, or a sharp edge, or maybe a broken occlusal ridge. And so by disking the neighboring tooth, it's that nice round of a nice surface to work against when he's then building up the Class 2. So the posterior Bioclear matrices come in several different curvatures. So there's an average curvature and a flat curvature. And as you look through the tower, you have there's an average molar, and that has an average curve to it. And then there's a flat average molar that has less curve to it. And then there's a tall average molar, so that's giving you height. And so by looking at maybe a post-operative or preoperative radiograph, you can see where your caries are located. If they're very deep, you want to use a tall matrix. If the embrasure, for example, is very small, you want to use a tall, flat matrix. Because if you put a curved matrix into a flat embrasure, it'll invert and you won't get the right emergence profile. So, with the posterior system, there are 3 different types of wedging. Right now, Dr. Clark's showing the interproximator used with what's called the tetra ring. The tetra ring is a completely translucent sectional ring that grabs the matrix on the gingival, buccal, lingual line angles on both teeth.
now where that can be useful is where you've got really broken down teeth, where the V-ring sometimes can struggle to get a grip or drop into the box. So sometimes you've got a really broken down tooth, the tetra ring can be quite an advantage, because you can see it's got 4 curved tines that grab.
The other thing that it does for you is it holds the matrix in place. So for example, here, right now the contact is open. Now if you were to pull the matrix using the cotton pliers, if you spread the cotton pliers out and pull it, as opposed to burnishing a metal matrix, if you pull the mylar matrix over, it'll stay locked in place.
So you walk it over to the contact and it stays there.
The ring will actually ratchet the matrix and hold it in place. So now you've got a nice broad contact. So notice when he pulled the ring off the matrix, went back to its original position. So I think he's going to use, are you going to use a different wedge now?
We've got a wooden wedge.
Okay,
incidentally, in the tower, all of these components are where you see the wedges, the saber wedges, the wooden wedges, the tetra ring, and the mylar strips are there as well.
So the soft wooden wedges are made out of a soft wood, and this allows, oh, you want me to, okay. The soft wooden wedges allow for very tight contact, because it's obviously a stronger wedge. But however, the soft wooden wedge will collapse because it's a soft wood and give you a very good adaptation